Hi there, welcome to the HTM Buddy Build of the USS Reliant. I'm Ken with Ken's Hobby Bench.
And I'm Jordan with a light in the stars.
And Jordan, welcome back.
Thank you. Yeah, I may have been a little distracted by a big event that happened last weekend for the last couple weeks.
Yeah, we had Wonderfest
Yes,
2025 for those of you in the distant future watching this.
indeed. Yeah, just got home a couple nights ago and got the Razor Crest there, and most of the way back, it's here, but it's not all in one piece. So got to look forward to putting that together. It's probably only about an hour worth of fixing that I need to do at most. Not a total travesty, but yeah, got the model back and forth and had some good times. Could probably talk a little bit about it after we get done doing our little segment if you'd like.
Oh, that'd be great.
Awesome. Well, I guess that if I laid the ground for a segue, there couldn't be a better one. I guess being that I'm a little bit behind, I'm going to go ahead and get involved with the build back by saying, what have you gotten done, and what are you going to be doing this week?
Okay, well, on the last video, you may have saw that I got my lights put in here. I did some light blocking on my roll bar parts so that I can put lights in there for the Raytheon effect. And then while you were gone, I did a little bit of work and recorded it. I won't get too much into showing right now, although one is obvious here. I did do the nacelles, but I've also now gone and I've adjusted my lights in the saucer section so they're all nice and level and done like that. And I've light blocked the rear of the bridge section, and so that we'll have a red section towards the front and the white lights coming out the rear. So I've kind of done that. Masked up my nacelles, as you can see here. Did some primer, and just today I did some like a metallic black. I don't know if that's the color I'll stick with, but I think I don't mind it. Looks good. So
Nice.
that's kind of what you're going to see from me this episode. Maybe a little bit more work from me putting some more lights in the bridge, and then I think I'll be ready to go. How about for you?
So I got my mistake all cleaned up. Got all the nacelle, the chiller grills taken care of. What I need to do is I'm going to go through, and I was realizing the whole process. I started rushing in order to try to catch up a little bit. And so I'm going to slow down a little bit and get a little bit of my sanding work done. I need to get in and get some putty and sanding done around the outside of the chiller grills, all taken care of there, around the outsides as well. And then I'm going to go ahead and mask off and attempt to repaint those again. I do like the idea of the using the metallic black over the top. I actually really like that idea, and it's something that I hadn't considered, but something that makes sense, kind of like with the future of Star Trek, where they kind of bronze the nacelles, right? So I
Yeah,
like that idea that it's kind of like a metal grill that's sitting over the top. I really like that idea, Ken. So I'm gonna steal it. I'm gonna stealing
sure.
it from you.
But
Um,
I did use Viejo, the black metallic,
oh,
uh,
cool.
71073
Okay.
is what I used. So that's an option. There are other options. That's just what I had, and I didn't feel like buying anything new.
Sweet. No, I like that. I know they have that over at my hobby shop, so that's fantastic news.
Perfect.
But yeah, otherwise, that's pretty much what the name of the game. Kind of getting back to where it is. I want to get the nacelles ready so that when we get the fin replacement, I can quickly get them assembled and get it out of the way. Get them on to move on to something else. As the we're just kind of waiting on parts now at this point. So yeah, that's what I'm working on this week.
Right on. Do you want to tell us a little bit about Wonderfest this year?
Yeah, well, I'll start by saying that I really wanted to say hi to Will and meet Cass, but two things. One, apparently Will is a pretty popular YouTuber, and every single time that I personally saw him, he was completely surrounded by people. So I'm not going to totally like bombard somebody with my presence. I did mean to actually see him, but it was one of those things where I only saw him twice while we're in the model room, and it's really crowded in there and really sweaty. It was a hot, humid weekend. And so it was just kind of one of those things where I didn't want to really pester him, but was hoping to meet. So hopefully next year I'll be able to do that. And then two, I have no idea what Cass looks like. So I was kind of like relying on meeting Will and being like, hey, is Cass here? And where is Cass? So yeah, I'll start out by saying that. I definitely wanted to meet the two of them. But overall, uh, you can look at the Wonderfest weekend as kind of like a tale in two parts, right? Like the Wonderfest, the models themselves are like the model room was fantastic this year. There were some amazing starships that were built. There was just some of the work that was done was just incredible. Um, I just like Andrew's Enterprise, being able to see that in person and just like be able to look around it and crawl all over it basically and just be next to that thing for as long as I was amazing. The show
And
was
Jordan,
amazing.
interject here,
Everything.
sorry, I was just going to say, for those of you who don't know, Andrew is Canadian Starships, and he's done the 1/650th scale Enterprise D from Helios models.
Yeah.
So sorry about that, Jordan.
No, you're good. And no, I mean, just being able to be close to that was pretty amazing. The show that they put on was fantastic, as they always do. Um, but the other part of it was, it's when like the only time of the year where we can probably get together the most members of HTM in one group. So there was quite a few of us this year, and it was just an amazing weekend of hanging out with friends that we normally only see, our hands moving back and forth. And we hear voices, and that's like pretty much will it, for the rest of the year. But we were face to face and getting to hang out with the guys and just be free to talk about modeling and hang out and get to see like Donnie and Buck. So Buckman's Model Mania, and Donnie, Don's Model Desk. These two guys have like known each other for 7-8 years, and to actually see them meet in person for the first time was pretty cool. Seeing Buck, and a little spoiler for the stream, the HTM Friday stream for the first one after Wonderfest, there was a hug between Ian and Buck. Yes, that actually happened.
Wow.
So it was pretty cool. Otherwise, just like meeting Jody and Mary, meeting them, and like Dawn and like Keith, and it was just an amazing weekend of hanging out and sleeping and staying up way too late, and yeah, just a pretty amazing weekend. More specifics will kind of come out in the Friday HTM stream, but from the perspective of both of us, that'll be last week. But yeah, just an amazing show, and I got a merit award for the Razor Crest. The judging was a little tough this year. It seemed like it was not as free and easy as it was last year, which is totally fine. They did a great job of, like there was probably, I think, 1,400 models there that they had to kind of go through. So, yeah, it was just a great weekend, and with good friends. And it always sucks knowing that it's going to be a year between seeing everybody again. But I think it's pretty cool that, we get to actually do that. And, hopefully more people are able to show up next year. Which would be pretty cool. So yeah, that's kind of the first impression from Wonderfest. And just watch any videos of the model room. Like you are, if you're not humbled, you're inspired by the work that's done. The models are fantastic, and the community of modelers is fantastic. We're all just the same big group of nerds, and it was pretty amazing. So yeah, that was Wonderfest 2025.
Well, it's definitely sounds like a good time was had by all.
It was for sure. And better times by others, that's for sure. Until it wasn't a good time, and then people went to sleep.
Oh, all right then.
Yeah,
Well, I look forward to seeing what you get done this week.
same.
All right,
And
everyone.
go. I'll start. You do the thing. You say the last words to this week.
Well, I was going to say, all right, everyone. So we're going to head to our benches and we'll get to work.
All right. So, welcome back to Aligning the Stars. I'm Jordan, and here we are. So, it's been a haul getting these nacelles ready to go. And as we're waiting for parts and a bit of an update, uh, as a bit of an update, as of recording, Will is currently finishing up all the printing right now. And so, here in the next week or so, Ken and I should be getting our parts and we should be able to start steaming ahead again with this build. And so the last little bit of slowdown, I guess so to say, as I mentioned here at the beginning of the episode, after they've been cleaned up, like I kind of just like I decided to, you know what? No, we're not going to work on any bridge stuff. I want to go ahead and get these masked off and ready to go. Because this is kind of like the last little thing that's kind of left before like major assembly is going to start happening and we start light blocking and doing stuff for real. So what I've got here is my display, my easy cutting pad, and this is going to be number D or letter D or whatever. And this is going to give you options for cutting straight lines from 0.4 millimeters all the way up to 1 millimeter. Ken was very kind. Once again, make sure you're following along with Ken's hobby bench for this build. He's much further along than I am. Damn you, Wonderfest. But he has gone through and done the research and figured out, what size to use. And we're going to be doing the 0.5 millimeter for the masking on that. And as you can see here, I have already done one nacelle. It's all masked off and ready to go. It's all been cleaned up, and all we need to do is get our primer on. And we're going to go ahead and take care of that here after. I'm not going to film it. I've already done it once. But I'm going to go ahead and get my color on there. I'm going to use a metallic black, basically, from Vallejo. And I'm going to use that to cover up the chiller grills, and then I'll go ahead and throw my clear on it, and then we'll go ahead and pull the mask in the next episode after I've also had a chance to kind of go through around the edges here a little bit and do a little bit of more putty work as it needs a little bit more love. So one of these is already done. I'm going to go ahead and show you how we do the first one, and then I'm going to just go ahead and do a quick little time lapse and show you guys just like the end results here. And we'll talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing next, because in the next episode or two, we're going to be getting all of our parts, and I want to continue working on with the nacelles and get them finished and built, and we'll be starting with the fins. But before we do that, I'll go ahead and get started with this. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just find my next line. And, a 0.5 millimeter up is not a whole lot of space. And so I just kind of go by feel. And I'm going to go ahead and just kind of run down, staying in the groove. There we go. And then go ahead and, how did I like to do this? I like to do this going facing this way. There we go. What I'm going to do is use the knife to pop up the edge of that. And it's going to curl. There's nothing I can do about that. As you can see. Well, maybe. There it is. Did a little curly cue there. What I like to do is I like to take in the right before the first chiller grill. And so let's go ahead and zoom in here. Go ahead and get in here. So we're going to do this first one here in this chiller grill, right down in this recess. What I like to do is right here, I like to start by getting this stuck down and held into place. Now, the reason I like to do that is it will give a surface and something really hard to stick onto, because sometimes when you get inside these chiller grills, they're not necessarily the easiest thing to get to stick. Sometimes the tape just does not want to cooperate. And so what I'm going to do, what I've found, use a toothpick and just kind of, I don't know, I'm just kind of holding it and I'm able to just kind of push it down into the groove. I don't know. Like, I was really struggling with other types of tape, but the Tamiya tape works really, really well here. Just using regular 10 millimeter Tamiya tape and just cutting it down into strips. But very simply, just kind of pull with my left hand, and I'm using the toothpick to just push the tape down into the chiller grill. I wish I could explain what I'm doing. It's just kind of a way of holding it. And I found that if like you try to lay it down and like push or whatever, it doesn't really work. And if you need to just kind of lift it up, you can. But for me, whatever reason, this happens to work for me. You will find your way. But just kind of going through and tapping down. There we go. All right, now once it's in place, what I like to do is take my toothpick and just kind of press it down. Be running the toothpick along the top. Just like so. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and hold that in place down at the end. We'll cut it after everything's said and done. So now, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and do this, we have 4 more of these, so I'm going to do this 4 more times. I'm going to do a quick little time lapse for you, and we'll come back, we'll take a look and how we clean it up. All right, so that only took about 12 or so minutes to get all these done, and I found that I needed to kind of use a my silicone brush to kind of go through here and get that all taken care of. But there we are, all of our chiller grills are masked up, and so now what we're going to do is one of the things you want to pay attention to when you're doing your chiller grills is there is a distinct shape here at the back of the curve. When you see the lit up chiller grills themselves, they make a round pattern around the outside. And so you want to make sure you're trimming your piece of tape right up against the edge and make sure that every one of them is stuck all the way to the very end. Being very careful. There we go. Back at its spot. There we go. This is the longest one. The next one. And then the next one. Oh, of course, I'm going to pull one out here at the very end. All right, let's see if I can do this because it's only the size that it needs to be. So that maybe doing one more of these extra here. Oh boy, of course. I did kind of get a little good here. That's maybe a little too short, but I did get a little comfortable with kind of running the toothpick up and getting it to just lay flat inside the grill itself. So we can do a little of that here again. Hopefully I don't have to redo this. Not difficult, just kind of tedious. There we go. Fix down there at the end. All right, and then for these, obviously, we're just going to go ahead and cut these at the very end. And apparently, my knife is not as sharp as I would like it to be. So when doing this, make sure your knife is sharp. There we go. Couple more of these. And I hope that I got this one cut here at the very end. I did. Okay. Let's go ahead and get these straightened out. There we go. Back down into their channels. All right. Excellent. And there we go. We need to do a little bit more cleanup there at the very end, but we'll take care of that in between episodes. And when I get this all painted up, there's going to be a little work needs to be done down here as well to kind of straighten this up down at the very end. It's likely. Can I fix this? Possibly. It's likely I'll need to go ahead and replace one of these. There we go. I say at the very end, in between episodes, I say as I obsess over it right now. Just getting these all taken care of. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and get this sprayed down with the Vallejo, basically metal black. So it's just kind of a bit of a metallic sheen to it. And then from there, I'll go ahead and let that cure. And then we're going to get a clear coat over it. And then when we come back in the next episode, we'll go ahead and peel our tape. And maybe I might have the fins for it. And we can go ahead and complete the assembly of the nacelles. And if not, we can go ahead and work on getting some of our lights tested, see how everything all works together, and basically get all of my putty finished smoothing out. Because as soon as that's painted and cleared, I'm going to go ahead and get a little putty around the outside as well to go ahead and get that all fixed and cleaned up and ready to go. So that's what I got for you guys today. I just want to say thank you, and a big thank you to Cass over at Lake Monster Details. Make sure to check out his website, lakemonsterdetails.com. You will be able to find soon all of these mods and God knows so many other cool things. And definitely to big thanks to Will over at the Ensign's Chair for inspiring this build and taking care of some of the printing while Cass's printer has been down. So thank you guys so much. Make sure you check out Ken's builds as well. He's much further along on this one than I am. So that's what I got for you guys today, and I just want to say thank you. I know that there was a million things y'all could have done today. Instead, you spent a couple minutes with me watching me build a model, and I think that's pretty damn cool. If you guys have any questions or comments, tips, tricks, please leave them down below. Like to support the channel, please like and subscribe. And my friends, until we see each other again, I hope you all have a wonderful day in this beautiful world where we happen to be. And just remember, from hell's heart, I stab at thee.